Good morning, folks. Guess what time it is? No, I did that the other day. It is 8:24 a.m. Mountain Standard Time on the 26th of April, 2025. Now, you and I both know that means it's the 27th for my time-traveling friends on the other side of the planet. Hello, Australia. Hello, Sydney. Hello, Gold Coast. Hello, Victoria. Hello, Jody Robs in the city of Melbourne. It's actually Jody Roberts. On Facebook it says Jody Robs, and my brain kind of cuts that off a little bit, but he's a buddy of mine that lives in Melbourne. We never met in person, but we've been friends online for quite a while, thanks to our friend Corey Buckner. Folks, how are y'all doing today? My name is Lee. I'm the guy who started the group. Well, I thought it was funny. The group that I thought was so funny that I had to start it again. That's right, we had two groups. We still have two groups, and you know what? Between those two groups, we've got 371,500 people. Speaking of people, I know you are you, my friends, and I know that you are awesome. How do I know that? Look at these awesome groups that are awesome only because you're here. That's right, I may have started them, but they weren't anything until you folks came along and started sharing your funny stuff. That made the groups awesome. Therefore, you must be awesome too, right? Thanks for being awesome, friends. Thanks for making these groups amazing. 671,000 plus members. I like to call us what we are, the funniest city on the internet. Population you, population me. We're funny people in a funny place, and boy do we make people laugh, folks. Cheers to us. So what's going on today, my friends? What are you doing? I'm going to tell you what I did yesterday because I had such an amazing day. It was incredible. And then I'll tell you a little bit what I'm doing today, although it's nothing exciting. Yesterday, after I did the video and all that, because that always takes me a few hours, the wife and I went out for an early dinner. Well, not super early, a little after 4. And we went for steak and fries at a place called the Cactus Club here in Calgary. I'm not advertising them because I get any money from them or anything like that. Just great food. And for those who don't know, because not all of you are from Alberta, and I'm not saying this, I'm not making this up, Alberta, Canada has what is considered some of the best beef in the world, my friends. And there are definitely differences between beef. It all depends on when you feed them. Grass-fed, all-natural beef, my friends. That's the Alberta type of beef, and it is so good. Went for steak. Oh my God. Went for steak. Oh my gosh, my friends. Steak cooked properly. That makes me happy, my friends. Such a great dinner. And then what did we do after dinner? We went to the Jubilee Auditorium where we saw Star Wars, The Empire Strikes Back in concert. That's right. What it was is the movie plays while the Calgary Philharmonic, that'd be awesome. While the Calgary Philharmonic plays the music along with the movie, and it was fantastic. What a great experience. Loved it. It was a great date night for the wonderful, beautiful wife and I. Thank you, Wendy, for such a great day. Well, thank you for every day's great when you're married to Wendy, my friends. But that was such a fantastic day. It was great, and I was able to eat a steak. I have not been able to eat an actual proper solid meal, my friends, for over a week. And yesterday I had a steak, and it sat well. And then of course, Empire Strikes Back in concert. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Empire Strikes Back is my favorite of the Star Wars franchise by quite a wide margin, actually. And it was a great day. What am I doing today? Well, today, not a lot. Working on the video. I am expecting a package from Amazon. I have spent too much money on an expensive webcam because I use my phone for these, and it's been kind of failing lately. Not my phone, but the connection between my PC and the phone to do these recordings. So I spent too much money on a very expensive webcam, which should be showing up. Actually, it should be here any time now. So waiting for that. Then after that, just, hanging around the home for a bit. Then heading out, gonna hang out with my best buddy Manfred for maybe an hour or so later on. I got a couple of movies for him, and apparently he's got something for me and bread. He's an amazing baker, my friends. So yeah, that's what I'll be doing. And then in the evening, I've got no real plans for the evening. And what are you up to today, my friends? I heard from David Knapp. David Knapp and his wife are involved with Arthur's Pet Pantry, and they are having their 11th annual bone hunt today, where they are trying to raise funds for the Rescue Foundation. And now you can, if you'd like to, you can make donations directly to them at via PayPal at Arthur's Pet Pantry, all one word, Arthur's Pet Pantry at gmail.com. Or if you like, you can visit their Amazon page. There's a link in our notes. There's an Amazon page set up as a wish list, and you can purchase any one of those products on their wish list, and that will be sent directly to the Pet Pantry, folks. You can definitely help out. Let's help some animals today, folks. Let's help some kitties, some dogs, whatever else they might be rescuing there. I think it's time to do a good deed. Why don't we help out some animals? I'm gonna make a $20 donation, $20 Canadian, folks. Sorry. Probably about $18 American, but I'm going to make a $20 donation. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it in the name, well, I guess in my name, in the name of the group maybe, but I'll be doing that after I'm done the video. Why? Because I'm putting my money where my mouth is, my friends. I love animals. I love all animals, and I think it's a worthy cause. Why don't you help out too? There's going to be links and notes in the notes to this video, and let's see what we can do today, folks. There's a lot of us here. And you know what? I've also heard from Rose Glad. This is from yesterday. Rose Glad. She had a doctor's appointment in the afternoon, and that was about it. That was on Friday. She talked to me. She mentioned that on Thursday, that was painting night. It was fairly successful. She's still working on her non-Thursday painting, which I want to show right here. Take a look at that. Lava Wahine. It looks fantastic. I think that's great. And so thank you, Rose, for sharing. Rose shares with us all the time. I think it's great. Oh. So you saw Lava Wahine. Now check out these amazing socks. These are socks that she made for her painting instructor. She shared this with us last week, or a few days ago, I should say. And I had to rush out of here. I didn't have time for a proper video. I want to show those off because they look amazing. Rose, thank you. You are an awesome artist, Rose, and really appreciate when you share this stuff with us. Now, let's go on to another person, my friend Dan Peterson, who's also one of our mods. Dan Peterson was off to a concert yesterday. This is yesterday. He went to go see Bush, Filter, and Rival Sons at the Grey Eagle. Grey Eagles Resort is a casino and resort and concert venue here in Calgary on the Tsutsina Reserve. And it's a great place to see bands. They get a lot of great artists, and Dan knows his music, my friend, and that is a great lineup. Bush, oh my gosh, I'm a huge fan of Bush, but I have to admit something. For a couple of years, my favorite Bush song was a Butthole Surfers song called Pepper that I thought was a Bush song. Look up, if you know Bush and you don't know the song Pepper, check out the song Pepper. If you do know both, let me know if Pepper sounded like Bush to you, because it sure did sound like a Bush song to me when it first came out. But yeah, what a great show. I'm not jealous because I had an amazing evening, but if I hadn't gone to see Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back in concert yesterday, that would have been a great thing to do. And we also heard from my mom, who let us know why it's so hard and why it takes so long to take Rufus out for a walk. Take a look at the photo there. Look at him there, just rolling around, marking his scent on whatever he smelled on the grass. Probably pee. Oh, I love that dog. He's such a sweetheart. And we got a photo from Michelle Finnerty from a walk she had, I believe it was 2 days ago. And take a look. Look at this photo. Look at all the awesome stuff. You've got a pitcher plant. I believe it's a pitcher plant. Please correct me if I'm wrong, Michelle. And then you've got a bee. Great photo of a bee. Trees are in bloom. You see the lily pads. And was that a mill in that photo? That last photo there of the building with the water coming through, or maybe a dam? I'm guessing it was a mill. Great photos. And she says probably going to head out to the Daffodil Trail in probably next week when the kids are back in school. Hey, I totally get that. Folks, I love it when you share your days with us. Thank you so very much, everybody, for sharing your days. It was a great one today. I got stuff from 4 people. 5 people. 5 people. I can't count. That's the issue. And I want to talk about your day, my friends. Why don't you let us know what you're doing, what's happening in your life? whatever you want to share, just drop it as a comment on this video. And you know what? I'd love to talk about it tomorrow. Oh, and one thing I should mention, and this is 100% true. I know I'm always trying to sell my shirts and hoodies and all that stuff, but I wore the, I thought it was funny hoodie to the restaurant yesterday. And I also wore it after the restaurant. I went and bought another joke book. I'll talk about the joke book after. And when I was in the bookstore, the person who was ringing me up asked me all about it and all that, took down the information. I told him he could have just scanned the QR code on the sweatshirt, but he was working, so he couldn't take his phone out. Asked me all about it. Started telling me jokes, and I wish I had a better memory. I would have used one or two of them today. But he's a new member. And then when we went out to go see The Empire Strikes Back in concert, I had 4 people in total ask me about the image, and I had all of them scan. Well, no, 3 of them scan the QR code and join the group. So I got 4 people to join the group yesterday because I was wearing the I thought it was funny hoodie. That's part of my day yesterday. I don't want to forget that, my friends. Sorry, a little addendum to what's happening in your day, what happened in my day. I didn't want to forget that. All right. But you know what, my friends? I think it's about time I feature a couple of great posts from some great members of the group like you, my friends. Now, I've got posts from Jeannette Harrison, and I've got a post from Kitty Close. These are 2 great posts. They both made me laugh a lot, and these are both posts from people who I have not shared posts on here before. So, hey, welcome to the videos, my friends. Welcome to the Spotlight. Kitty, welcome to the Spotlight, Jeannette. Jeannette and Kitty, thank you for making people laugh with these great posts. So we're going to start off with Jeanette's, because J comes before K. It's just alphabetical. Bringing that up right away. Jeannette Harrison's post. This made me laugh. That's why you're seeing it. Yeah, that's me in a nutshell. Well, no, this is me in a nutshell. But read it. Does this fit you, my friends? Because it sure fits me. Jeannette, thank you so very much. I think it's hilarious. It made me laugh. Now I'm going to bring that one down. We're going to bring up Kitty Close. Post from Kitty Close. And another one that made me laugh. That's why I'm featuring it. And another one that can kind of describe me to my friends and people that don't really know me. It's true. I share a lot of crap. Fill people's feeds and they don't know what the heck's going on. They wake up and like, what? I just woke up and there's 400 things from something that Lee created. It's nice. I love it. Thank you, Kitty. Thank you, Jeannette. Awesome posts. And my friends, I want to share your posts. That's right. Just post funny stuff to the group. And if it's really funny and if you post enough stuff, chances are I'm going to eventually feature one of your posts, my friends. And I'd love to do that. I try to share posts from people every day, and one of these days it might be one of your posts. All right, folks, so what's going on here? Let's see. Told you what the time was when I started this video, and I told you what the date was on both sides of the world. Hello, Melbourne. And then I asked you about your days, told you about my days, shared some amazing information from my friend Dave Knapp. Don't forget, folks, we are trying to help out some animals today, my friends. So that's Dave there. They've got the 11th annual bone hunt for Arthur's Pet Pantry. Check out our notes, my friends. Let's help them out. We heard from Dan Peterson, who had gone to an excellent concert yesterday. Heard from Roseglad. We shared some art from Roseglad. We shared double art. We shared a painting, and we shared some amazing painting socks. Painting because it's a painting. It's for a painting instructor, and they are paint-themed socks. So hey, paint squared, awesome. And also she went to the doctor yesterday, and nothing else happening after that. And then we also heard from my mom, who was explaining why walking with Rufus takes so long at times. And we heard from Michelle Finnerty, who had gone for a fantastic walk and shared some great photos. Man, I want to hear from you. Not just man, woman, everybody. I want to hear from you about your days, my friends. All right, and then after that, we shared two great posts, two fantastic posts. One from Jeannette Harrison, the other one from Kitty Close. Thank you very much, folks. They were hilarious. You made me laugh. Therefore, you made my day better, my friends. And don't forget, folks, keep sharing the funny stuff. Maybe I'll share your post next. And then we found ourselves in that spot where I try to figure out where I am. We kind of got oriented. Then I find myself right here. And from right here, I go to the bad jokes. What do you call somebody who doesn't like pizza? A weirdo. You know, it takes half a box of cookies just to get the taste of a salad out of my mouth. Rage Against the Machine never specified what machine they were mad at, but I bet it was a printer. I want to be a millionaire just like my dad. He wanted to be a millionaire too. How deep is a frog pond? Knee deep. What do you get when you cross a dog with an antenna? A golden receiver. I accidentally combined all good and no worries when talking, and I said all worries, and that is the most honest thing I've ever said in my life. What do you call a cow that was grazing on pot? High stakes. My grandfather reached 110 yesterday. That's the last time I let him drive my car. Hey, not to brag, but I was hired as a fitness model yesterday. I'm the before model for all their pictures. They're not really bad jokes, are they? Some of them are actually pretty good. And you know what? I got 4 of those jokes. 5 of those jokes from my friend Dave Knapp. That's right, Dave Knapp sent me in some jokes. You know what? Be like Dave. Number 1, be cool. Number 2, send in jokes to me. Jokes at wellithoughitwasfunny.com. That's where you send them. Jokes at wellithoughitwasfunny.com. And if I can use your joke, I'm going to give you credit for it, my friend. Why? Because I'm not going to steal your joke. I'm not that guy. Send your jokes to jokes at wellithoughitwasfunny.com, and I'd love to tell them. Yeah, and you know what would also be awesome, my friends? How about you record yourself telling the joke, and I'll play that in one of these videos. Heck, if I get 10 people doing it, I'll have 10 jokes from 10 different people. I'll just introduce the joke segment. You folks will do the heavy lifting. We'll have the greatest joke segment that this group has ever seen, that's ever been in any of these videos. And where do you send those videos? You send those to the same place you're sending the jokes, at jokes@wellithoughitwasfunny.com. Send in your jokes, send in recordings of you telling jokes to jokes@wellithoughitwasfunny.com, my friends. All right, folks, just going to quickly talk to you about our store. That's right, we have a great store. You know what? You've seen me flash around this coffee cup. Well, we got that coffee cup in the store. Actually, it's a slightly newer design. Looks a little bit better, and this already looks good, my friends. It's a nice big coffee cup, too. You know, I also have a 25-ounce to-go cup, my friend. You know, check it out. You're traveling around, your beverage stays hot or your beverage stays cold, depending on what it is, and you represent us at the same time, my friends. So check that out. That looks great. We also have some t-shirts, hoodies, and actually, and what I call the 3/4 sleeve rock shirt. Let me just show you that, my friends. I got them right here. Right there is what I call the 3/4 sleeve rock shirt, baby. Why do I call it that? Because it reminds me of a concert shirt. That's right, those 3/4 sleeve concert shirts that you get, that's what that's like. Then we've got your regular t-shirt by Regular T-shirt. It's an awesome t-shirt. And then we've got our hoodies, multiple colors for all of these, my friends. And you know what? They're really high quality. The print looks fantastic. I'm going to tell you a true story about yesterday, which I told earlier in this video. I was out and about. I had gone to go see a concert. I did some shopping. I had 4 people, this is in a matter of 3 hours, ask me, because they saw it and they really liked the design on the sweatshirt. They asked me what it was all about. You know what I said? Oh, it's the funniest group. I go, it's on Facebook. There's a QR code right here. There's a little QR code in the corner there. And I said, just scan that with your phone. They scanned it with their phone. All 4 of them joined the group yesterday, friends. It was awesome. I got to do that more often. Wear that around outside the house because it is great. People love the way it looked, and people love the fact that I could just scan that. Fantastic. Very self-serving, isn't it? But hey, it worked. So yeah, check those out, folks. They really do look good. The quality is great, and it's not some crappy little iron-on. It's a proper print, my friends. So check them out there. As I said, we got the coffee cups. We got these cool stickers too that I just recently designed. I think they look great. They look good on my car, by the way. They're pretty big, as you can see, a little bit bigger than a CD. Those are actually reasonably inexpensive. And they can scan that QR code on there. You know what it says on the bottom? The funniest place on the internet. Because that's us, my friends. Yeah, check out the store, my friends. If you purchase any of our products, I want to see a picture of you with your sticker, with your coffee cup, your shirt, your hoodie, whatever it is. I'd love to see a picture of you with Dorothy the cow. I think Dorothy the cow, I think that design looks great, and we already know you're beautiful. All right, folks, it is Saturday morning, and I think I'm going to go hang out with the missus after I do all my video editing, of course. I thank you so very much for making our groups just freaking amazing, my friends. Absolutely amazing. As I say all the time, and I said it earlier, I'm going to say it right now. You know, we're the funniest city on the internet. Population us, my friends. Funny people in a funny place, and we make so many people laugh. I actually hear from people that message me telling me how important the group is to them, which is a little heavy for me because it's all about laughing. You know, it's supposed to be lighthearted and that, but you know what? Laughing is important, so I do get that. And if we bring laughter to one person, we've done something awesome. We're doing it to thousands of people, folks. And I'm not saying me, I'm saying we. That's you, that's me, that's all 72,000 people, however many people are here right now. There's a lot of people, and that's a juggernaut of funny, my friends. You know, there's so much funny stuff there, and we make so many people laugh. And you know, when you make somebody laugh, you make their day better, right? You really do. We make so many people's day better every day, my friends, every day, because you're awesome. We're doing something good, you know. And my whole plan when I started the group back on the 23rd of April of 2024, that's right, not even a year, and we've got this many people, over 670,000 people. My whole plan was just to share stuff that I thought was funny and to make people laugh. In fact, that's been most of my plan, most of my life, is to make people laugh. Well, you know, at least something I created is making people laugh. I don't know if I'm making people laugh, but my creation is, and you know what? I'll take it. That's a win. That's a win, folks, and thank you. Thanks for helping me win. All right, folks, you know what? I just hope you have an amazing day today. I want to say thank you again for being here. Thanks for making us awesome. And you know what? I'm going to be here again tomorrow. I hope you're going to be here again too. And maybe we'll have a few new people. That would be just fantastic. But even if we didn't, we already have the funniest group in the world, folks. You know, we'll see you again tomorrow. All the love, my friends.
Well, I thought it was funny.
Well, I think it was funny.
Well, I thought 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 it was funny.